Hello and welcome to SirSmuggler's Let's Play. We're at episode 9 and I just woken up to a brand new day and I want to show you what I've been up to since last. My little bee house, well, it turned out to be quite a long run to travel between my house and that place, so I decided to start on the rail system. And of course the first thing I did was build this nice little station house. So you can sit here and wait for the next train and look at the beautiful flower. Ain't that pretty? So let's take a ride. Whee! And I've not finished this thing, but it's a start. And let's take a look at these things here. This is from Railcraft, wooden posts. They act pretty much like fence posts from vanilla buildcraft, Minecraft. Though they interact a bit more with rails. So when you place tracks on this, you see I get this nice little platform thingy. And I placed these supports here just because I think it looks good. It doesn't. You could just have it floating in the air if you wanted to, but I want things to look good, look somewhat real. So that's how I build it. And also my quarry has produced some gold. That's nice. So we now know that we are getting deeper. And this storage area is beginning to fill up. So before that quarry is done, I might need to expand on this a little bit. But we'll see. There's still plenty of room. So let's look at how these wooden posts are done. You need these wooden ties, as I already showed you, 3 wooden slabs and creosote oil. And you just place one wooden tie in your crafting table and you get 4 wooden posts. So I'm gonna grab a few more of those. And I am getting dangerously low on iron actually, since I've been using most of it to craft rails. But that's okay, I got a good amount coming in from the quarry. Well, actually I have already a good amount waiting here in this storage area, but I want to avoid using that as long as possible, because I'm weird, I know, but I kind of want to see exactly what I get from the quarry. So I want to wait until the quarry is all done, and then, not until then am I allowed to use these resources. Yes, I am strange. So I'm gonna continue building this railway, and it seems, if you noticed, I don't have any booster rails. It's only the boarding track in the beginning there. And still I didn't seem to lose any momentum over that quite long stretch of rail. So I don't know if Railcraft changes how much momentum you lose, or if vanilla Minecraft has changed, but I seem to remember not being able to travel very far at all before your speed was all out. So I'll just continue this rail system, and I'll be back when I have anything more interesting to show you guys. So I'm back at my new beekeeping area here, and I have filled in all the biomes. So sand is desert, obviously. The grass and dirt is the jungle, and the gravel here is the river biome. So as you can see, we could easily place down 3 apiaries real close together and still have 3 completely different biomes. So this is gonna be a really nice spot for my beekeeping. And I'm gonna build a nice little house here for that, and I'll show it to you when it's done. And I thought I'd show you how my railway is progressing here. It's still a long way to go, but it's a start. And once I get to the slopes here, I'm gonna jump in. So I hope you enjoy the ride. And we're back. And let's check on my quarry while I'm at it. Got a nice amount of diamonds. I'm a little disappointed in the amount of gold so far. And not a single piece of obsidian. That kind of worries me. Well, I can always go and dig it manually if I really have to. But we'll see. Nice amount of diamonds though. Could be a bit more, but I shouldn't complain. And it's still running, so who knows what we'll find. Okay. And let's check on our water. I've had to redo these water sources quite a few times already while traveling back and forth between the beekeeping area and this base here. So yeah, they definitely act up once you move too far away from them. Some people claim that chunks do not unload in single player if you have them. Well, they unload when you quit, of course, when you close the world and then reload it. But once you have visited an area, it shouldn't unload during that session. But well, I don't know how else you would explain the disappearing water sources that I have here, so I would say chunks do unload. There's a good amount of iron here, so I can continue with my railway. You can also make rails with copper. It won't give you as many rails as iron, but since the use for copper is kind of limited, it's only forestry that uses it, that can probably be a good idea eventually. Well, I should say it's only forestry of the mods that I use. And iron chests, so that wasn't quite true either, but well. I know those who use industrial craft obviously has a lot more use for copper. But for me, it's not a big deal. So, I'll just continue with my little bee house and keep an eye on the quarry. And I'll be back when I have something more interesting to show you. And look what I found here. I was just out looking for clay because I wanted to build to use some bricks for my beekeeping house, and then I stumbled upon this little village. Shall we go pay them a visit? I think we should. So, nice little church or something. Oh, look at this. People running around. Looks like a smithy, whatever. Oh. Very nice someday. Don't really need it right now. It's interesting to have windows and then dirt outside. It's certainly a special design. If you just move out of the way there, thank you. Got a little farm going, a well. More chests. So what do we got here? A little library perhaps? Nice. Well, I'm not gonna linger around here for long right now, but I'm definitely gonna need to remember this place because I want to be back here later on. Perhaps help them build something nice close by. Perhaps a nice little city wall around the area. We'll see. It's nice to know that it's here and not far away from my base at all, and I hope I can find my way back now. Yeah. And it looks like my quarry is finished, and you see the drill there is slowly coming up again and no power is being used, so I'm gonna turn off these engines. And let's see what we got. Now this is fairly big quarry, I'd say, but obviously you can make them bigger. I think it's like 64 times 64 that is the maximum size. So what did I get out of this? 11 diamonds, that's not bad. Very little gold, only 4 gold, that is surprisingly little. And not a single piece of lava, or obsidian of course. That is quite surprising. I did not expect that. And a lot of other stuff. Now luckily you can break the quarry with an iron pick and just set it up somewhere else, so it's not in any way wasted resources. So what I want to do now is remove these water sources here, and so here I am at the bottom of my quarry. It's an interesting sight. You can see all the little ore veins on the walls here, and I'm just gonna poke around and pick up what I find, but I think it's time to go sleep first. And now it's a bright new day. I'm not gonna bother with like redstone, iron and stuff. I have a lot of that now, but this gold here I'm definitely gonna have to pick up. I want my iron pick. Nice amount of gold. I think that was more gold than I got in total from the quarry actually. And I said I wouldn't bother with redstone, but since it was right there I just took it. So I'm gonna head back up, and then I'm gonna have to come up with an alternative way to get obsidian, since my quarry didn't turn up any. So I'll be right back. Here I am back at my old mine shaft, the very first I started once I settled in this area. And I'm gonna use this lava here to get some obsidian. Now you might be thinking I don't have a diamond pick, but I'm gonna find some other way of getting this obsidian up, so just bear with me. And I'm back. So if I place all glass in here, it's gonna be just a clearing pattern, so I'm not gonna fill in any resources in the inventory here. So it will just pick off any blocks inside the area here. So let's set up some engines. We'll go with 4 of them, like so. But before we start them, I'm gonna place my water back somewhere. Like so, should be good. And let's see. Some coal there, some there. And everyone's got coal. Let's get them going. And of course I forgot it starts from the bottom. That's not good. Oh well. I think it will do pretty much what I want it to anyway, but just gonna take a little longer to get there. We'll see. It seems the filler is lava proof anyway, so not a big deal. Okay, so I'm ready for another try with this here. And yeah, we'll see if I do any better this time. I can't imagine doing worse, so well then. Here we go. little better this time. Not perfect, but obviously a lot better than last time. Just gonna let it finish here and we'll see. Yep, there we go. Red. Let's pick out the fuel. Don't need that anymore. So, let's get up the water, if I can remember where I placed it. There's one. And of course, there's my bucket. Here. So, let's see then. 26 obsidian. Well, definitely did better there. So, and all these frames apparently don't clear until you relog, so I'm just gonna have to live with them for a while. And I could go on and harvest more obsidian like this, and I might do that, but yeah, I probably will. But I'll do it off camera, and I'll be back when I have a good amount so I can do some of the things I have in mind. I'm back here at my house, and I had an unfortunate world crash earlier, but after upgrading Railcraft to the newest version, everything works fine again, so luckily I didn't lose anything. Now I could collect some more obsidian, as you see, quite a lot. Should be enough for a while. So I want to start with building a few things from that are new in Buildcraft 3. That's the assembly table and lasers. So let's start with an assembly table. We're going to need a diamond gear, diamond, redstone and obsidian on the sides. You get one assembly table, and then you're gonna need a couple of lasers. No, that's not it. Let's see. Going by memory here, and obviously not quite correct. There you go. I'm going to build 2 of those. And let's go out and set that up. I also constructed a new building since last, where I'm going to place this assembly table and other advanced machinery. So right here is my advanced factory. We'll see. I've done some preparing work here. I've run some pipes under the floor here, back to this chest. And let's see what we can do with this thing here. I'm gonna place it right there. And when you open it up, it's got a nice little interface. And you place resources in this area, and depending on what you put in, you get some different components that you can make it craft. And with the redstone you get the redstone chipset. And I'm gonna explain more what these things do eventually. And when you click on it you tell the assembly table to manufacture that particular item. And I can cancel it by clicking again. But as you can see, this here is a progress bar telling me how long it's left till this item is created, and nothing is happening. That's because the assembly table needs to be powered by lasers. Now this is a fun little thing actually, because you place... do I want it like that? Yeah. That's how I want it. I don't think it matters what orientation it has, but I think it looks nice that way. Maybe I should have built this thing just one block higher so the lasers will be more visible, yet not... I could place them one block down, but that doesn't look good to me, so... oh well. It's gonna be like this now. And now you need to supply power to the lasers, and then they can start working on the assembly table, actually engraving the chipsets and whatnot. So, what do we want to do? I suppose a few redstone chipsets is a good start actually. And because I'm gonna need them for some things from advanced power systems actually. So let's just turn on the power here. Start off with 2 engines and let's see what we got. Ta-da! Lasers are working, and you see the progress bar is advancing. And when it's done, when the table has produced something, it will output it to an adjacent inventory or pipe. And as you saw earlier, I have a pipe underneath here, so it's gonna zip right over to this chest here when it's done. Awesome. And the more lasers you have, the faster it will work. So I'm gonna expand it with at least one more eventually, but right now I want to conserve my diamonds. So let's see. I let that run there for now. I can actually show you some of the other things we can do. Yeah. First chipset done. Let's bring that one as well so I can show you. Now the main purpose for this these chipsets, at least in Buildcraft alone, is to construct gates. Now these gates can be placed on pipes, and they have a lot of conditionals, like they help you automate all your little machinery and stuff. And this is the basic gate with just a redstone chipset. You can't do too much with that, but then there's more advanced gates crafted with higher tier chipsets, like this iron chipset. You need redstone and iron, obviously. And then there's gold and diamond chipsets as well. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. Also you can take some dye. And you can see you can create something called pipe wire. Now these gates can interact with the pipe wire. So pipe wire is kind of like redstone, but it's not actually redstone signals being transmitted. It's a separate signaling system, you can say. And it's really neat, and I'm gonna use this a lot later on. But so far I'm still trying to get a good resource production. And I'm gonna set up a new quarry eventually, pretty soon actually, but I want, as I said, a few things from advanced power system first, so I don't really have to store so much junk in the storage area. I can reprocess it into more useful things. So I'll be back when I have something new to show you. And now I'm ready to start crafting my first machines from advanced power systems. So most of these machines require something called a power core, and that is crafted like so, and redstone. And depending on the chipset and the gears, and or at least the metals on the side here, let me check that up real quick. Okay, so depending on the gears and the chipsets, it's always iron in the corners. But depending on the tyre of the gear and the chipset, you get different kinds of power core. So this is the redstone power core. If you put in an iron chipset and iron gears, you get an iron power core, and so on. But I kind of stick to the redstone power core, because though some recipes require a higher tyre of power core, if I were to make an iron power core, I would need 8 additional irons to upgrade the wooden gears, and 1 additional iron, so 9 iron. 1 additional iron to get the iron chipset. So that would be a total of 9 iron. But if I instead take this redstone chipset and place it in my assembly table together with 1 iron, I get the ability to create an iron power core that way. So I upgrade the redstone power core. So that's a lot cheaper. Of course, it's the added cost of the energy needed to run it, but I think it's a lot better actually to do it that way. Okay, so we got our iron power core, and let's see here. Obsidian in the corners, and the power core, an iron gear, and not cobblestone. I'm gonna need creating a mess. I'm gonna need a stone transport pipe actually. So once again, cobblestone, that guy, and an iron gear. Here we get the block grinder kit, and all the APS machines are created like kits. So if I take this one, I cannot actually place this thing down in the world because it's just a kit and it needs to be assembled in the assembly table. And once that is done, it's ready to be placed. But I don't think I actually want, or do I? I'm debating if I want it in this room or in the storage room there. I don't really know. Just for demonstrating how this works, I'm going to place it here for now. And I'm going to move it later on, definitely, because that's just ugly. But we need to connect power to it. So let's do it like that. And I want to, well, since I am doing all this temporary stuff, I'm just gonna route it like that. Looks but ugly, and I will change it very soon, but for now I want to demonstrate how this thing works. So if I were to place a bunch of cobblestone in here, you see it tells me I get a 75% chance of getting gravel, and 2.5% chance of getting coal, 2% iron, 0.5% redstone. And as you see, it starts grinding up that cobblestone, and there's a piece of coal, I believe, some iron. So it's a neat way to actually use up some of your cobblestone. It's going to be a very good complement to the quarry later on when I start that up again, because instead of just filling up chest after chest with cobblestone that I'm probably never going to use, I can actually turn it into something useful. There's going to be a lot of gravel instead, but I have a plan for that as well. There's one additional step you can take to make good use of that as well. So I think it's about time to wrap this episode up, actually. I don't want this to litter this inventory here. I'm gonna place this into my backpack. So we got a few pieces of iron and coal out of that. So that will be great later on. Anyway, I'm wrapping up this episode now, and next time I will get this grinder in place where it's supposed to go, and I think I'm going to start with the logistics pipes also, just to set up the logistics for feeding this thing and sorting items. So see you next time. Bye bye.